everyone. Welcome to this podcast. Today we have Shreyaan Daga with us, and we're going to discuss a lot from Shreyaan because he's one of the 17-year-old kid who is running his own startup and doing so much well in the tech industry. So we'll get to learn about Shreyaan today a lot of things, and he'll be asking a lot of things about how to proceed further in the career, how he started, about his background, about everything. So first of all, Shreyaan, welcome to this podcast, and
Thank you.
thank you. Thanks a lot for giving me the time to record this for you and even for all of our viewers so that they can get to learn a lot about the journey and from your journey as well. So, Shan, I would love to first of all start with your introduction. Please introduce yourself.
Sure. So, hello everybody. My name is Shhreyaan Daga. I'm the founder of OLL, where OLL is a platform where you can learn any skill practically. I started off at the age of 15. Now I'm 18 years old. OLL has been funded on Shark Tank India Season 2 by Peyush Bansal and Vineeta Singh. And OLL is teaching around 20,000 kids daily across India, where we're empowering them with new age skills taught practically. So yeah, that's a bit about us, and I would love to go ahead with the podcast. Thanks a lot for inviting me, Shambhavi.
Okay, most welcome. And yeah, well, right now, who doesn't know it because you have like spread a lot of, I can say a lot of noise in the market just by that one tagline which is said in a Shark Tank. I would love to repeat that if you can.
Sure. So मेरा एक माइलस्टोन है, मुझे बायजूस और अनअकैडमी जैसे प्लेयर्स खरीदना है, and that's how I got viral.
Exactly. But yeah, that's actually being at such a young age at 17 and thinking about that broad and that far is like even unbelievable for many of us actually. So that's the commendable thing for you. So I would love to know a little bit about your background and your really the upbringing. How like you came at this 15th age and you started this something of your how this idea came into your mind?
So essentially, I was like this toppers and this backbenchers. I was a middle bencher, मतलब an average student in life. I used to get 73% marks. I used to do the daily routine of every child: go to school, come back home, play with friends, go to sleep. So one day I took my report card back home, and my mom said this one thing which I remember very clearly. She said, "या तो topper बनो या तो failure बनो, बीच में मत रहो." So that day I decided that becoming a topper is too difficult, but becoming a failure is easy. So I became a failure from then on. So in the 8th grade, I got my first ever failure, where it wasn't in marks. I proposed to a girl and she rejected, and that was my first ever failure. And I was shocked, I've never failed in my life before. First time I failed. And that was magical for me. That moment onwards, I loved failing. So I started failing in my marks. I started failing in my friends. I started reducing my friend circle, and more, failures in my life started. I reached a point where I could only start learning more things from here. So, I started learning things practically out of school. I joined the stock market as an intern. I learned how to invest in the stock market. I even started giving loans to my friends in school, started my own bank. So I used to give loans at 45% interest, always trying new things because now you already failed, right? What's there to lose? So that was the mindset that brought me up, and that was the mindset that helped me really start over.
Great. So even I got to even research about you a little bit, and I got to know that you have sold out the paintings as well from your class schools, right?
Yeah.
So like painting is a hobby or like how do you used to do painting?
So I always loved art. I still do. Just the natural creative extension of me. Like I painted, and then I thought, what will I do with these? They'll just get framed or they'll get thrown away. So I learned how to code, and I uploaded these paintings online, and then I sold them online through a website.
And that was in class 4, right?
Class 4, yeah.
And what was your age at that time?
10.
And you started to learn code and you built something and started uploading, right?
Yeah.
At the age of 10. Okay. That's now a little bit much more which I got to learn about you because I just learned about that fourth grade. But yeah, you made something of your own and it's all pretty impressive actually. Very nice. So, Satyam, just you like got to know about the business and you just thought of doing something of your own, right? So, getting serious about business. Like, when do you find that okay, now I am ready to go ahead and start this business? How or what that was point was when you got very serious about this?
So honestly, seriousness comes when money starts coming in, or when results starts coming in. So sitting in my home in my 10th standard, we had earned 1.4 crores of revenue and a profit of 30 lakhs. We had taught around 30,000 kids in a year, and that was something that was very different, right? And that's when we started getting serious about the business, and that's when I decided to drop out. So results were there. We had proof, something to show.
Absolutely, that's absolutely right. So yeah, when you have something to prove and you even start earning that particular thing, then you like try to make it your own or the main field in which you can grow. And you're dropping out from the class 10. Like how that courage you had into you because people as you're struggling from your BTech to get like drop out or they're thinking that how can I or what will my further career look like, right? But you just did that at class 10. How that motivation, how that courage came in?
See, honestly, it's like you need to show results to people. Okay, either you show results in marks, so or you show results in money. Because your parents have invested in you. They've invested 10 years of education. They've been put in clothes, house, everything. Now you need to give them a return on their investment. So you have to show them that path. That how are you going to give them the return on investment and get their trust enough to help you drop out? Okay, so that's how I did it actually. You have to show some sort of return on investment which they could get.
Absolutely. That's the like best point which I mentioned that your parents have invested into you. You should give them the results and like actually people come to us and they say that okay my parents are not allowing me to do this or do that. So just do that and show them the results. They'll almost going to support you in each and every step of yours. Very good. Even your parents supported you out a lot and at like commendable job which you have done right away. So how does this overall started? These online live learning. How did it started and what like did you started alone? You had a group of people with you. How it all went up?
So honestly, it started with a simple poster on Canva we made. And we were giving a free coding class, and we circulated it on WhatsApp along with a Zoom link, and that's how OLL started. Initially, it was just one person teaching, and the first time around 20 people joined. We shared more links, then 30, then 300, then 500, then in a day we were teaching 7,000 people, and that was really cool. So that's how, just a simple Canva poster, a Zoom link, and that's it.
So you were all alone in this thing, or you had a group of people with you who were helping you to grow and do these things?
In the start, we were alone, but we hired interns as soon as it started growing. So we hired 10 interns, we paid them, and we hired teachers, we paid them. So in the start, we were losing money for 2 months. So I took support from my dad by paying the amount through him. However, after that, we thought, ki, how do we convert this loss-making model into a earning model? And that's when we started going through schools, and that's when the real money started coming in terms of revenue and profit, and that's how we paid back that initial loan.
Okay, so that was like initial process, right?
Yeah.
Great. So in the starting, your dad helped you out, and yeah, with that, so your dad belongs to a business background.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Great. So awesome. So, like you started earlier, within 2 years, you just grew this too much. Even you started hiring interns, and each and everything, right, in just 2 years. So, just like one question comes into my mind, why did each or why we see the class is from 1 to 10 for the people whom you are targeting or whom you are focusing? Right, like why you are targeting the age group of or a class group of 1 to 10, first to 10?
Okay. See, the first and most important thing is that we are targeting kids of this age group because the entry access, the barrier is limited to schools. Okay, so every child in this age group goes to a school, right? Now, find the problem, the low hanging fruit. Everybody can be your target audience. You can teach college students, you can teach elders, you can teach seniors, everybody. But who has the biggest problem right now? The biggest problem right now is for that kid who is studying from a textbook for an exam just a day after and forgetting everything after giving the exam. That child isn't learning anything. And that's a really big problem. So you focus on that one problem first and then solve that. So we solve that problem and then that's how we just targeted this age group right now.
Okay, so like from class, even like very less startups, so very less people right now into this market of training their students from class first to 10 because they can't have that much of like idea that okay, can we train a student of class first also into the coding, right? But I hope you might have seen some example. You might have that mindset into yourself that you started that okay, yeah, I can train a first class student as well into the coding, right?
Yeah.
So awesome. So, like this class first to 10th was your idea. So, you are delivering the content for only computer science or any of the subjects you have it to OLL?
So OLL is a platform where teachers can come and list their courses. The teacher can be of any skill as long as they can teach it practically. So it can be art, it can be a language, it can be a life skill, as long as it can be taught practically. OLL is focuses on practical pedagogy. That's our key focus area. So yeah. However, today the majority of the students, like around 80%, learn in robotics and coding, and the rest 20% learn on the other subjects.
Okay. So, you just brought up this idea, you implemented that idea, and now you moved on to the Shark Tank, right? So, like moving on to the Shark Tank and getting viral from there, how is that experience and how you actually made that true?
So it's as simple as filling a Google form. I filled 3 forms. I thought it would be a normal form, just filling it out. However, I didn't realize that Shark Tank is like IIT for startups. Around 1 lakh startups apply every year. Only around 150 get aired on TV. That's a 0.15%. So I applied like a normal applicant. However, Shark Tank is ultimately an entertainment TV show. Okay, people want masala, people want entertainment. So it's like Saas Bahu shows, but Shark and participant. So our story had that masala. 18-year-old dropped out of school, is earning 28 lakhs a month, which is a masala, right? So that's how you have to basically to get into Shark Tank, you have to have that story which can hit, which can connect with people. So yeah.
Okay, so you had that story, you filled out that form, and after that, I hope you just got the invitation from there that okay, you can come and represent your startup there, right?
Yeah, so you there's 5 rounds. You have to go 5 rounds, filter till the end. You don't know if you're gonna be aired or not aired. So till the last week, you don't know.
Okay, so from that one line of yours, which you mentioned about you will buy if I choose and like complete like that. So from there, you just got widened, right? So did you thought about that particular thing before that? If I'm gonna mention this sort of a line, how will it go in the market or how would it go? Any sort of idea you had, or you just thought that I have to present, so I have to present?
Honestly, it was a 2 hour long pitch with the Sharks. However, they showed only 12 minutes. And if you're speaking for 2 hours, you don't prepare for 2 hours, right? You just prepare for the first 3 minutes of the pitch. Rest all is on your knowledge. Rest all is on what you know, what you remember. So then there's no preparation or anything comes inside that. So yeah.
Absolutely. So when you took this oil in the market and you just came it over here, so you might have in the mind that okay, there are too many competitors, maybe into your coding or based over your teaching or based over the other ethics as well which are in the market. So what makes OLL stands different from others? One is I understand very clearly that you start with the classes for class 1 to 10. Right. Now, apart from that, what is the other factors which stands OLL different from other ethics which are already in the market?
So in where first ed, then tech. That is the biggest thing that keeps us apart. Is we focus on the education part and the number one priority. What happens is with all the startups today in education, the consumer is a parent, means the parent is paying, and the user is the student. So what used to happen earlier was they would just convince the parent, and the parent would pay. However, the child would not use, or the child would not be interested. The child would not like it. So nowadays, the child has more decision making power, and OLL focuses first on students friendly pedagogy, means the kid should enjoy. That is our number one priority, and the kid should learn first. Second is everybody just teaches you that this is like you do academic preparations, right? Even if you do good visual videos or etc., you don't ultimately learn until you know where all I can use this in my life, and until you actually use it in your life. So OLL focuses on practical learning, and for us, with these two things, and when we're doing these two things, we're going through schools to do it. So a school makes OLL compulsory for all kids as a subject. So that way, and we do it offline. So 90% of our classes occur offline, where our teachers go to these schools and teach through these pedagogy, the student-friendly and practical pedagogy. So entering a school itself is a mode. You can't enter a school easily, and reaching those students offline is again more difficult. So OLL has created that entire ecosystem, and now we're teaching in around 63 schools. So within just 2 years, and now the biggest thing is we don't consider anyone else as a competitor, because we feel that there's no student who's thinking for other students, and who's actually implementing, who's actually impacting the lives of other kids. It's all these big old people who are trying to do something for education, who think they know everything about education. But we just experienced it. We feel that we have the right guidance. So yeah.
And yeah, I guess that's the most the biggest reason why schools are very much connecting with you, because you are the one who was already in school, you dropped out from there, so you exactly know that okay, what is in the market, what is to be taught more, and where to take in care of. So I guess that's the one of the biggest points which you are utilizing as well, and with that help of that, you're growing very, very, very fast now.
Mm.
So, like what are targeted states are mainly what are the all over India you have different schools where OLL is there, or you have some specific states targeted?
So today, a majority schools are in Mumbai and Pune. However, we have schools from Nimbakhera, which is in Rajasthan. We have in Vadodara. We have in Varanasi, and we have in Viara, which is 20 kilometers away from Surat. And we have a lot of growth partners, around 10 growth partners across 10 cities who are representing OLL out there. So yeah.
Okay, so you have expanded it all over around India, and further you are planning to more expand it. So what are your future plans for OLL? Maybe you are gonna take it outside India also, or you are gonna start it for some graduating students also. You're gonna keep it for class 1 to 10th only. You're gonna expand it. What are your future plans about it?
So OLL's future plans is to go not outside India but more inside India, which is to go to tier 2, tier 3 cities, villages. I want to teach those kids. That's my passion. So I want its OLL's tagline is skills for all. So we need to make sure that every child has skills. So we're first going to complete India and then go on to countries which are maybe developing countries or underdeveloped countries, upskill those, and then go international after we have upskill the kids from the lower strata.
Okay, so your main target are the kids who are not getting that good education in their respective places, right? That are your target. So you are even planning it for after class 10th also, or you are going to stay on class 1st to 10th?
Sorry, the age
Okay.
group of students.
Yeah.
Today we're going to focus here. Tomorrow we will add.
That's actually one of the very good lines which I heard from you, because people used to say, okay, after some time I'll do this or that, but yeah, today and tomorrow, that's one of the very good lines. And now, after having this talk with you, now I understand why are you different from other people, other students. I understand that very well now. So, I would love to hear some advice from you, which you want to give to all the people watching out this podcast over here. What advice you want to give to every person over here out, because the age group will range here from maybe class student base of 11 years to 50 years of people. So, what is your advice to all of those people watching out?
So, पहले तो I cannot give any advice to you all are more educated than me in terms of formal education. However, what I would love to suggest is that learn to use not just for the degree or for the marks. Learn to use it in your life, and that's our only motto, and that's what I really believe in. कि सीख रहे हो मतलब काम करने के लिए काम करवाने के लिए, to do that and yeah, solve a problem. That's all. Solve a problem.
Yeah, solve the problem. Absolutely right. So, like, right now the people are just sort of learning and learning 4 years of graduation कर लिया, then उसके बाद maybe M.Tech कर लिया, PhD degree कर लिया, that is all done which they are doing. They're not following their passion or maybe what they love to do, or maybe कोई problem to solve and they are not looking for. So yeah, that you should learn from Shreyaan. Actually, that he has solved the problem also. He had done his own passion also. He's following that particular thing. That's one of the biggest things which we can actually learn from it. So thank you a lot, Shreyaan, for coming here, giving your time for this podcast. I'm pretty sure that a lot of the students are gonna learn a lot from your journey as well, and a lot of things from you as in a person also. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much. Yeah.